Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. All right, so Jamel Charlo did a interview with Ellie Setback. I guess you could say it was an all access as he prepares for his highly anticipated rematch with Brian Castanos, which is going to take place in May, May the 14th, if I'm not mistaken, at um, the Sports Dignity Health Park, formerly known as the StubHub Center, then before that, the Home Depot Center. But nevertheless, during the interview, he took the time out while he was riding with Ellie Setback, took the time out to say that the LDBC was going to be mad about him doing a interview with Ellie Setback. Now, I'm going to respond to Ellie Setback after I get through talking about what Jamel Charlo said. Now, it's a lot of ways to take what he said in that video about the LDBC. Basically supposedly being upset about him doing an interview with Ellie Setback. You could take this a lot of different ways. But I'm going to try to be classy about this situation. And I'm not really going to go in on Jamel. Now, Jamel, if you basically saying you doing an Ellie Setback interview versus not doing an interview with people and members of the LDBC because of a certain thing, and you know what I'm talking about, complexion, then you wrong for that. And I'm not going to pull any punches, and that is the wrong attitude to have. Believe it or not, a lot of brothers in the LDBC have went beyond the call of duty to defend and speak highly of Jamel Charlo. I think he is a really good boxer. And I think he's going to take care of business versus Castanos in this second fight. But I have to let you know something, and this is just real talk. I know for a fact that the LDBC don't wake up in the morning and have discussions on what Jamel Charlo is doing and who is he talking to and doing interviews with. To be honest with you, you not really that important to the LDBC. They only talk about you when they need to talk about you. And I can assure you of that. It appears that you think about the LDBC more than they think about you. And that's just the honest to God truth. And I don't know why. And that's the honest to God truth. I can assure you of that. But I am going to say this much. This is a serious problem that we have in our community. And I've talked about this on several occasions, and now I'm finna speak from my own perspective. I've said this on several occasions that it really bothers me to a certain degree that I have fighters that look like me that will go out of their way not to talk to me, but they will talk to everybody else except, reporters that look like me. And for the most part, I've said nothing about these fighters. And that's the wrong attitude to have, because the funny thing is, a lot of these reporters that don't look like you is the ones that's basically talking the most shit about you behind your back. I don't really have no issues with Jamel Charlo. I really don't. I mean, I've criticized him for certain stuff he said, which I have a right to do because I'm media. And I've tried my best not to take it beyond boxing. I don't talk about his personal life. I don't talk about what he's doing when he's not boxing. But if he says something and he puts it on his social media for everybody to see, then we have a right to respond and we have a right to talk about it. But I don't talk about that man's family, none of that stuff. That's not my place. And like I said, I'm trying to stay out of that. I really am. Now, as media people, we all have boxers that we favor over other guys. That's the honest to God truth. And at the end of the day, man, you could do an interview with whoever you want to do an interview with, man. I'm going to say something. I don't have no problem with Elie Seckbach whatsoever. Because actually, somebody that works with him is a really good friend of mine. You know? I'm not going to say his name, but he's a really good friend of mine. Me and him, like, talk at least once a week, and he's a good dude. He's a good brother, man. You know what I'm saying? And then when I was first, you know, like, trying to, you know, figure this media stuff out, you know, I learned from Elie. I learned from a lot of other people. I learned from him. I learned from that cornball midget. I'll give him his props. I learned from Sean with Fight Hype. You know what I'm saying? Elie, all them dudes. So I had to learn. You know, so I could figure out what my style was going to be. You know, how I was going to do things. I have my own way of doing things. But you have to watch and you have to see what they doing. And then you know, you take your bits and pieces and then you create your own formula. So, you know, I can't lie and say that I didn't learn from them dudes. So, and shout out to Sean from Fight Hype, man. He a good dude, man. And like I said, I don't have no problem with Elie. I speak to Elie every time I see him at an event. And I'm just keeping it a buck, you know. So I don't know why would Jermell think that people in the LDBC would be hurt that he's talking to Elie Seckbach and not them. But I'm just going to say, man, that's the wrong attitude to have, man. You know, if it's what I think it is. But I can assure you, me or other people in the LDBC, like I said, is not waking up in the morning and the first line of business is, who is Jermell Charlo doing an interview with or talking to? And I can assure you, they're not upset. I can assure you, I know for a fact. Now, I could go into the other stuff that you've said, but I'm gonna leave that alone. And like I said before, I've talked about this in other videos. I'm a proud black man, and I'm not ever going to be ashamed of that. And I've said this before. I said it bothers me that when I interview Hispanic fighters, and particularly Mexican fighters, they show me a lot of love. Always willing to do an interview. You know what I'm saying? Don't get an attitude. Don't roll their eyes. You know what I'm saying? But fighters from my own community get an attitude, don't want to talk. And like I said, I've done nothing to them for the most part. For real. And I'm going to be honest with you. This stuff about, well, this dude did this dude did that. I think that's starting to grow tired. It ain't me. And you can't keep basing who you gonna give access to in black media based off what one dude did, okay, or was saying, because that's not fair and that's not right. So if a dude that don't look like you do that to you, is you gonna cut all of them off? Probably not. And this is why, like I say, the black community is so fucked up. For real. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I wish, well, I could say, but I'm trying to be cool about it. You know? So I'm just saying, Jermell, on the real, like I said, you can talk to whoever you want to talk to. But I'm being honest. I'm not dissing you. I'm telling you the truth, man. The LDBC ain't thinking about you. You ain't on their mind like that, bro. You ain't the only fighter that's out there. There's plenty of fighters to talk about. So I'm just keeping it a buck, man. I don't know where you getting your information from, bro. You seem to be thinking about the LDBC more than they thinking about you, and I'm just telling you the truth. And I'm not trying to diss you, brother. I'm just telling you the God honest truth, man. And if you offended by it, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, and I'm sorry you feel that way, bro. But at the end of the day, man, if you got something to say, why not just say, hey, I want to do an interview with this dude, and just, you know what I'm saying? If you got a problem, let's see, can we fix the situation? I'm available. It could be, if you want to talk, we could do an interview. You can say whatever you want to say. As long as you don't be talking about you going to do this and you going to do that. As long as it ain't no threats and none of that stuff. Because I'm making it very clear. And I ain't talking no street stuff. I ain't talking no tough guy stuff. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We could do an interview. We could talk. Long as it ain't no threats and none of that stuff and people trying to, all this kind of stuff, it's all good, man. I'm available. For real. Get in contact with me. So, that's all I got to say, man. Wish you the best, man, and I hope you win your fight, man. It's your boy, Town Biz. I'm out.